I can't even really figure out why I signed up for my first ultra, because I was like so out of my depth and it was so far away from my comfort zone that I'm kind of really impressed with my past self that I even signed up for one. It was really weird that I did that, but I'm also like so glad that I did it, because I think it's what has just opened up my world so much. Rash. It's a one-time thing, you know? My name is Leanne Bentley. I'm a graphic designer and I race ultra endurance bikepacking races. I do a few races a year, mainly up until this point off-road on a mountain bike, but next year I have 2 more like gravel / road races that I'm doing. So that's what this build is all about. I started bikepacking in the pandemic and built up a gravel bike, and very quickly did my first race, which was kind of a mountain bike race that I did on my gravel bike, and it was like baptism by fire. Had to basically learn to ride my bike while doing it. And then from then I kind of went all in on the sort of mountain bike, because I just kind of found that that was such an appropriate tool for doing off-road like adventures, even if they're not really technical. I think the mountain bike is a really great tool for comfort and stuff. I currently ride a Sauer Pasta Party, which is a like 120mm front suspension hardtail. And that's what I do like all my racing on at the moment. And because I'm going to do some more roadie stuff next year, me and Sauer are building up this all-road bike, and it's going to be replacing a gravel bike and a road bike, and I'm really looking forward to having a bike that's a bit more versatile to cover that whole kind of section of riding. Sauer make all their bikes from steel in Dresden in Germany, and yeah, I find steel to be like super comfortable frame material. I think because Sauer's they are really comfortable in the mountain biking space. Every time they kind of do a drop bar bike, it's always coming from that world. So this is their like closest bike to a pure road bike, but because it's Sauer, they still want you to be able to go on adventures on it. The geometry is maybe like a little bit more relaxed, more towards like an endurance road bike. So it's going to be perfect for me for like long days in the saddle and racing. I'm going to run this with a gravel group set, but in 1x13. So even as a road bike, it's still going to have enough gears, in my opinion. I think most of the time I'm going to be running 34mm slicks, so it's like a road bike with a bit more comfort. And then for like gravel races, I'm going to go with like a 38 to 40mm semi-slick sort of knobbly tyre, probably the RS Pro from Shelby.
I mean, that feels great. Yeah, that feels good.
This year I had one really big goal, which was Silk Road. I think that's sort of driven me to have a bit of a different mentality next year. So I want to do a few races. So I'm not just really focused on one thing. But I think just for like recovery and fitting it around work and stuff, I've kind of chosen shorter races that I can sort of pepper throughout the year. So the first one I'm doing is Dale's Divide, which is the first race I ever did. So I'm really looking forward to going back and hopefully shaving a significant chunk of time off my last race time. And then I'm going to do Utrecht Ultra, which is local, and it's just really nice. I get to jump on a train and start the race. And that will be the first race that I do on my new bike. So it's also a really nice opportunity to check everything's working and I'm happy with the fit and everything. And then I'll be taking that same bike to Bright Midnight in a bit more of a gravelly tyre on, and then the sort of big crescendo to the year will be Taurus mountain race from the mountain race series, which is in Turkey, and we don't know anything about it yet, apart from that it will be about 1,400 kilometers with a lot of climbing. I think that's what I love about it so much, is that I get to go and ride my bike in like the Atlas Mountains or in Kyrgyzstan on my own, in the middle of nowhere, and just like having this amazing solo experience, and also kind of having this framework of a race where there's some things in place that make it kind of safe, or like safer for like a solo woman to be out doing these things, which is why I really love it. When I first started racing, I was really just wanting to finish. Like, I had no expectation that I could even finish a race. And then once I'd done like a couple, it started to kind of creep into my brain that I could even maybe try and like do well. So that kind of changed for me a bit. Where like, I think it was the Alps Divide was the first race where I went in and was like, okay, what if I actually just tried to be strategic, tried to race people. It's not like, not just, you know, trying to do well for myself, but just trying to do well, full stop. And I was really surprised at how much I've enjoyed that and how fun I found that, the actual competitive side of racing, and kind of like seeing where people were around me and making choices that benefited doing well, not just my own comfort level at that time. Yeah, it's definitely kind of set me on a bit of a different path with it, which is cool. I like love riding at night, and I find that to be like a really special part of an ultra. There's something really nice about just having this like patch of light in front of you, and that becomes your whole world. Even now, like I'm actually just intentionally riding my bike in darkness because it's so much more fun to me than riding on like a miserable day. And yeah, it always gives me that kind of feeling that I'm on an ultra, which I love. That will always be that primary goal, is getting to the finish, because that's what I'm doing. It's about going on an adventure and experiencing a place. If things are going right, I think it's fun to push myself.